Hello, dear readers. My name is Elizabeth Ewan, and welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. As always, my focus is on writing worlds, dreaming big, and making every day magical. Today, we are going to be diving into chapter 30 of my work in progress Project Ember. So if all things writing and romantasy is something that you're interested in, then just keep watching. So we've hit a point where my male lead and my female lead are kind of finally like alone, and it's not necessarily an intimate setting per se, but it is a situation where they are finally alone. Like, there's been so much that has happened up until this point, and there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities. I want to say there hasn't been like a whole lot in terms of opportunities regarding them getting alone time together. And it's one of those things where when they first met, they kind of had alone time together in a very public setting, that one-on-one conversation that really sparked things for both the male lead and the female lead. But it is one of those things where it's like, up until this point, it's been like go, 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 like action, action, action. And there have been moments of rest, but usually they involve some of the supporting characters, so that way the female lead can get to know those characters a little bit more, as well as the readers can get to know those characters a little bit better. So it's one of those things where it's interesting finally kind of sitting down with these two and having them interact and not be interrupted this time, because there have been times where they've been interrupted because that's just how that's how the story has gone. And it's really interesting writing the two of them together, because I feel like in my head, like I had a feeling of how they were going to interact, but actually starting to write out on paper, or in this case on a document, how they're actually interacting is really just fascinating to me, because I feel like as a writer, you have in your head how certain relationship dynamics are going to go. For sure. You know these characters inside and out to a certain extent. You're still discovering stuff as you're moving along in their journey in your book, but like, you've sat with these characters since the conception of the story. Of like, it could be a few months, it could be a few years. In this case, it's a few years. I've known these two in my mind for quite some time, and so finally having them like interact in this version of Project Ember is really interesting, because I feel like they're very different from how I first thought they were going to be, versus now with both of, one, their intentions, and two, like their individual goals, as well as where they're coming at this from like a relation standpoint. As I mentioned in a previous video, the male lead has known the female lead for far longer. He's had feelings for her for far longer, and the female lead still has to catch up to that. And so there's this background pressure I'm feeling of just push them together, and it's like, but they're not there yet. And so I'm working on that slow burn. The male lead really has to work to earn the affections of the female lead. I love a good slow burn. If a slow burn is something that you're interested in, I have the Midnight Masquerade, and that is like a slow burn, but like once it's burning, it's burning, like it's on fire, like it's hot. But it is one of those things where I love reading slow burns and I love writing slow burns. So again, we're on chapter 30, and they're finally like alone and kind of in an intimate setting without really being in an intimate setting. This is the precursor to an intimate setting for them. So it's definitely something that I've given a lot of thought, and something that I've been working through, and I will admit I've been struggling with it for sure, because again, you kind of had something in your head and it's not really panning out how you thought it would, but it's still there's still a lot of growth there, and it's very interesting to write. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stop talking here, and I'm gonna get to writing.
Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right, we'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over, I swear that I'm sober, just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me. Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right, we'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah. Till the morning light, till the morning light, till the morning light, yeah. Maybe I'm just too weak, maybe I'm just afraid of being alone. Well, I don't care, 'cause right now I feel the love that we said we would burn. Oh, I know that you feel it too. I know that I told you we're over, I swear that I'm sober, just listen, I miss
I have just finished chapter 30 of my work in progress Project Ember, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it to kind of escalate the way that it did, and it's not anything physical. It's just, I felt like as I was writing it, it's one of those things where it's like, I knew that the male lead needed to make his intentions known with the female lead. Like, when you have two characters, they don't necessarily know what the other character's intentions are. And the male lead has been very flirtatious with the female lead up until this point, but he's never actually like declared his feelings for her or declared his intent for her. And that's something that is very important to me. And the reason why is because I feel like it takes a lot of courage for someone to put it out there that they have feelings for someone else, as well as before even putting out your intentions, before even saying, hey, I like you and I want to pursue you, it's, hey, I want to court you and I'm going to woo you so that way you fall in love with me as well. Before even just professing, before even, like, I don't want to say dumping feelings onto somebody else, because that's not how it usually is. But before professing one's love, usually one needs to court the person, one needs to date the person, someone needs to buy flowers, take them out to dinner, wine and dine them a little bit. And so that is what the male lead is doing for the female lead. He is declaring his intent to pursue her and to pursue her hard, so that way she understands in full that he has feelings for her, but he's not pushing her for a response yet. That obviously will come later, and not in like a aggressive way, but more of a, hey, I have an intent to court you, I have an intent to make my feelings known to you, and I'm informing you of that. Because at any given point, you know, my female lead can say, no, I'm not really into this, but obviously she is into this, she's very into him, she just hasn't said her intentions yet either. And it's interesting having that kind of be the kicker from chapter 30 into chapter 31, because my female lead now has so much to process. There's been a lot of trauma that she's been working through. a change in environment entirely, because again, this is a romantasy, so like usually in romantasies you have like you have them start off at like home base, which is like think Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter starts off with the Dursleys at Private Drive, and then he's whisked off to Hogwarts within like 5 to 10 chapters. Like it's similar vibes there of she starts off in her home and then she's whisked off to point B, which I'm not going to spoil because this is so hard to like talk through my book without spoiling everything. But she's whisked away from point A to point B, and it's one of those things where it's like that happens. So trauma, change of environment is a huge stressor for sure, as well as adapting to her new role and her new responsibilities, because a lot has happened from chapter 1 all the way into chapter 30. And then now she's facing the fact that the male lead wants to pursue her. And so that's a lot for any one individual to go through over the course of a few weeks. And I want to make sure that in chapter 31, we are pressing on the brakes before going full out, because there's a lot that is happening later in chapter 32 on that is go, go, go. But chapter 31 kind of needs to be a decompression chapter. And I'm veering a little bit from the plot I have outlined. I'm just switching it around a little bit. It's still going to wind up being the same, but I'm switching out some characters. Like, I originally thought that maybe her mentor, she would go back to her mentor and continue training with her mentor, but I was like, no, like, that needs to be addressed later. For right now, I want her decompressing and figuring out what's in her heart and just having a moment of rest with someone that's been there, not necessarily from the beginning, but since all of the craziness started, and someone that she can trust and rely on. And kind of just have like a girl chat with her friend. So that's gonna be interesting going into, there's like trucks outside. They're all like taking the garbage right now. It's fine, we power through. But it's one of those things where it's like, I want her to have a girl chat. I want her to like sip on some tea. I want it cozy vibes. You guys know, like, I'm all about the cozy vibes here, but I want her to be able to like sit on a comfy couch with a girlfriend and just like talk through the trauma, the new role, the new environment, as well as the male lead's feelings that she's starting to kind of realize, like, oh shoot, this man, this person likes me, and her feelings on that, or at least starting to process her feelings on that. So that's something that I'm going to be very interested into diving into for chapter 31 for sure. And that is it for chapter 30, and that is a wrap on this video. So thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Have a wonderful, magical day.
And I know that I said all these things, but now when you're with her, I can see that you miss me.